Welcome back to the Wizard Shop, and today is a special treat. This car is from one side of the country to the other and made a special visit just for you guys. Let's take a look. So this thing is really amazing. You guys are going to absolutely love this car.
Wizard, it's 100 degrees in this shop. I need a fan. Junior Mint just took the last one.
Junior Mint, he took the last fan?
Last fan.
Well, I could get us some more fans.
That would be great, but don't give me any of those cheap ones that only last a month or two.
You don't want a cheap one?
No,
well,
give me something nice.
All the fans we have in here are Vornado. They always hook us up with sweet fans. You need some more?
Let's get some more of those.
Say no more. There you go. Car Wizard always hooks you up. Vornado hooked us up. They've hooked us up before. We don't have cheap fans in here. We have good quality Vornado fans. So, you guys need some fans?
Definitely.
Have at it. Okay, what the? It's like they haven't eaten for 2 weeks and I gave them some food. Anyways, we got that handled. Now back to the car. But let's talk about this sweet car. It is absolutely beautiful. So this is a 2008 Mercedes-Benz. You guys have figured that out by now, I know that. But it's very special edition. It is a 2008 CLK 63 AMG Black Series. Now they made 500 of these cars. Only 349 came into the United States from 2007 to 2009. That's it. There are no others. There is a lot of really amazing changes they did to this car. It's just not a bump in horsepower. There's a lot of really cool things that happened to this car. So the owner of this car, his name is Marco, and he lives in Florida. He purchased this car in Portland, Oregon. That is the complete extent almost of the entire United States. It's not broken. It doesn't need any kind of major work. But he made sure, he said, Car Wizard, I'm buying this car, and halfway through the trip, I'd like to have it dropped off at your place and have it filmed and do an inspection and just make sure everything looks good, and then it'll carry on its journey to Florida. I said, hey, no problem. Let's go ahead and take a look around this car. I know you guys just say, enough rambling, I want to see this thing. So let's go ahead and look at it. There's the beautiful CLK front end, but you will see underneath it is a lot different as far as the front spoiler area. It's not your standard CLK, obviously. It's got some carbon fiber right here. Some of the venting there through the bumper. Look at those wheels, guys. It really pops with this car. Everything's black, but the wheels are very bright, polished aluminum. To me, it's just stunning. It's beautiful. It is a two-door. Lots of ground effects that you don't get on your standard CLK. Very nice. This came from, I suppose, MS Motors. It has quad exhaust with carbon fiber diffuser in the back. This thing is beautiful, guys. As Mrs. Wizard comes up this side, you'll see it's also pretty much immaculate. There's no scratches, there's no dents. Let's go around this boring Murcielago here and get away from this thing. This is the ticket right here, guys. Amazing Mercedes-Benz. Let's go ahead and open the hood and look underneath. Look at all that handmade AMG goodness. It says right here, handcrafted by Joachim Schmidt. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Maybe you guys in the comment section can let me know. This is the 6.2 liter AMG V8, 475 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs, 468 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPMs. That is not turboed, it is not supercharged, just raw, naturally aspirated power. 0 to 60 in 4.1, a quarter mile in the low 12s. It is a rocket ship. It's a hot rod. It's a German-made hot rod is what it is. Up top, I'm not seeing any leaks. We'll look around the front here. Look at the serpentine belt, and it looks to be in good shape. The water pump area is nice and dry. The valve covers look nice and dry. Look along the lower edge of both sides of the valve covers. They look nice and dry as well. Coolant is nice and full. It appears to be the OEM blue-colored Mercedes coolant, which is a good sight to see. There's our condenser and a cooler and a radiator. Everything looks nice and clean and leak-free. One thing I look for on condensers when they're out in the open like this is an oily stain. You can tell that's where a pinhole very likely is in the condenser. This one's nice and dry and clean though. The next thing I want to check out, I want to see, is the interior. Mrs. Wizard has seen it already and she's telling me it's really strange in the back. Let's go take a look.
Okay guys, this is a really sweet car. You can see there it has 55,000 miles on it. So it has been driven, not a crazy amount, but you can tell we've got carbon fiber everywhere in here. Look back there around those gauges. Of course, everything's in great shape. I mean, I don't have to explain it. You guys can see it. Isn't this amazing? They have updated some of the iconic Mercedes designs, have a little bit mod to our vents, which we normally see in Mercedes. But look at all that carbon fiber. Everything is looking good. Nothing has been scratched. No marks on any of the writing. Look at that shifter. It does still have the standard slots that we are familiar with Mercedes, but look at this dainty shifter. One thing that is interesting is it has a push button, but it also has a slot for the key. So even though they've added a few definite upgrades by adding the push button start to it, they did leave some of those things in just because it was probably just easier to do. Now, moving on, definitely got great leather everywhere. Now, they have updated the seats, and these seats, they said they were added bucket seats. The bolsters on these things are impressive. If you're a little bit larger, this would not be a comfortable fit. Sorry, Wizard, I love you and all, but this may not be a car for you.
Probably not.
We look up here at the headliner, looks great, nothing sagging, and as the Wizard said, the back seats. To save weight on these cars, they actually removed the back seats. They're just kind of slings, so you can't sit there. They're taking out the seat belt, but they did leave a few things like the oh my god bar up there. And if we move back down here to the center console, they still left the air vents, which I guess can help with overall airflow in the cabin space, but obviously they're not putting any people back there, saving that weight. Even though the steering wheel looks Mercedes, and there's a lot of Mercedes in this car, it's not the typical design that we're used to seeing. They definitely did a really good job upgrading the quality of this interior. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like underneath. Let's get this in the air.
All right, let's get this thing moved on the lift. Ooh. She's got a good talk to her. Here comes a seatbelt trying to attack me. Ooh, whoa. All right, let's get this thing on the lift. Oh, sorry guys. So I have no idea what I'm going to find under here. Let's look together and see, did he get a good buy? Let's find out. So here's our receiver dryer, radiator, condenser, the whole big package here. Nothing's leaking there, that's good. There's the bottom of the serpentine belt area, AC lines, everything looks good there. Here's our steering rack, which is not leaking out of the boots or leaking anywhere from the lines, which is great. Our pads are about half gone, but they're still good. Nothing loose there. Sway bar link is tight. There is a little bit of oil coming from the front strut, I do see. Nothing serious, but it does have some seepage. Over to this side. Brakes are good. Nothing loose there. Sway bar link is tight. And this strut is dry. Everything's happy on this side. We may need to look at getting the front right one replaced or reconditioned or whatnot. Look at this exhaust, guys. It's true full-length headers on this thing. I don't know if that's stock. It very likely is. Wow. Here's our little oil pan. It's nice and dry. Everything's dry inside of this inspection cover to tell us if the rear main seal or the front input seal of the transmission is leaking, and it's not. These are O2 sensor wires. I'm not too sure why they're hung that way. There's supposed to be a panel or a plate here that's missing, but nothing too serious. Here's our drive shaft. Flex disc looks good. Nothing leaking out of the transmission there. Here's our big girthy exhaust. Beefy. Here's our other drive shaft end. Everything looks good there. Flex disc looks good. Differential is nice and dry. So this right here, guys, this is really neat. This is actually a circulation pump that pulls the rear end oil out, or at least some sort of a fluid. Maybe that's a little heat transfer plate there. This is something I've never seen before. But it's transferring heat to this little cooler back here to cool the rear end. And with the kind of power this thing's putting out, I don't blame them. That's really cool. Here's our AMG exhaust. That's stock. Even with this exhaust level, how loud it is, that is all stock. Let's look at our rear setup here. CV shafts are not leaking. Everything looks good. That strut is dry. Pads are good. Nothing loose. Sway bar link is good. CV shaft, uh-oh. Here's a torn boot, guys. Once in a while I find one. I'll double check this one over here. It's good. This one's got a tear in it. And you can see the grease being slung up there. It'll very likely get a new CV shaft. Usually the price of these shafts are as much or cheaper than me replacing or rebuilding it. Just makes sense to replace them. Brakes are good. Nothing loose. Sway bar link is good. And that strut is dry as well. All right. Tires look good. Go ahead and get this thing on the ground. So overall, I think Marco did really good on his buy. If it just needs one strut rebuilt and a CV shaft replaced, maybe some fluid services, we'll look into that, we'll see. But overall, he did really, really good on this. It is so beautiful. I've only seen one under these before, and it was like 2 years ago. And it's really nice to see another one again. It's such a cool car. Oh my God, it is so sweet.
Stop your rambling. They want to see this on the road. They want to hear it.
Oh, you guys want to hear this thing roar?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go get it out on the street and let you guys hear the amazing exhaust. I'll go give it a quick little road test. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this really awesome car, check my Amazon affiliate link in the description below. We'll get a small cut and we'll really appreciate it. And thank you, Marco, for letting us check out your car. We're very happy to oblige you and film your car. And I'm going to go check this thing out. Let's go hear it, guys.